wanted to kind of take this out and but I'm going to read it from my phone because I asked Allison. So this is Allison. Allison is our baby of the week.
Thanks, Liz.
Allison Melvin. Allison is a realtor in West Palm. So if you want some real estate, you know, call her. She's really amazing, and she'll tell you like, no, that's not good, or this bad area, good area, whatever.
Oh, that's
she's
awesome.
Really,
I
yeah.
love honest realtors, boy.
She's
they really
very
help.
she's very honest. She's very upfront. She's just a no BS. You know, she's kind of she's you know the whole family is like that. But Allison is our babe of the week.
She's beautiful.
I asked Allison to be our babe of the week because she's been across the world. She has done so much. And one really cool thing that she has done is on a lot of people's bucket lists.
She did not go to Sturgis.
Oh, yes, she did.
Ah!
Okay.
We are so going to plan that.
Okay. Allison rides her own bike. This is her on her bike.
Yes,
and
beautiful
the
BMW.
older pictures are her on her little world tour. So her favorite thing about riding, she is 58 years young, right? Very beautiful, youthful. That family just has beautiful youth. And she's been living in Florida for 27 years. 18 of those years she's been riding motorcycle. Yeah.
Wow.
She's originally from Massachusetts, as I know, but now you all know. She's a full-time real estate agent at Palm Beach County, okay? So, and if you just kind of Google her, you can find her beautiful site with all the awesome houses. Someday, on my bucket list maybe, is one of those houses. She always wanted to ride when she turned 40. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, wait a minute. She always wanted to ride, and when she turned 40, she took a motorcycle endorsement class. So she took the class, got her motorcycle endorsement, bought her bike, and has been riding ever since.
Wonderful.
6 months out of the gate. So she had her license for 6 months.
Amazing.
She rode to Sturgis and back.
That's awesome.
Yep. Daytona and Leesburg.
Listen, if I ever hit the money, right, if I
So
ever
she
hit
rode
the
to
money, I would
Sturgis
do it.
back, Daytona and Leesburg within 6 months out of the gate. 6 months out of having it,
Wow.
yeah. She even has been known to sell a house or 3 showing up on her bike.
Oh my gosh, she's a realtor, she's badass, and she shows up on a bike to show you the house.
Right? I'm telling you.
Who's better than that?
And
That's awesome.
she does have a message for other women riders, a couple of them. Be as badass as you want. Right? So
there.
be as badass as you want to be, and don't let anyone tell you differently. Yeah, mofo.
For real.
Be free, live free, and ride, baby, ride.
Amen.
Yep. And then, of course, she says keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down, because that's a big
Perfect.
thing that we say, keep those rubber side on.
Perfect. That's
Now,
perfect.
so I said to her, she's like, if you need anything else, Michelle, let me know. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Back up the boat here, right?
Right.
Because I want to know, 6 months out of the gate, and you're in Sturgis? I need to know more about that.
Right.
Do tell, right?
Right.
So, because I was asking, like, did you go by yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's one of those questions, the thoughts that come to mind. Oh my God, she's been riding for 6 months. Did she go on her own?
Yeah.
Did she go with a group? Did she go with friends? How did she get there? And then I wanted to know what she thought of it, like how she found it,
Right.
like what she learned along the way,
Sorry, I was responding to someone on our feed, but that's okay.
Okay, you got it? Oh,
Yep,
we good?
I got it. We're good.
Okay. So she says, as a new rider in 2004, she took a 6-week road trip with her then boyfriend and his buddy Joe. We made it to Sturgis from Florida in 4 days. She rode the Badlands, Spearfish Canyon, where they rode with Kevin Costner for a charity for the Black Hill Indians.
Oh my gosh!
Needles Pass, Custer State Park, Keystone, and Deadwood. In Wyoming, we were off to No Panty Wednesday in Halt, Devil's Tower, Jackson Hole, and Cody. Total 6-week tour after being 6 months on the bike. Then off to Red Lodge, Montana, Chief Joseph Pass, Top of the World, where she learned to ride in the snow, and it was also the first place that she bought real chaps. And they went to Yellowstone. Wow. It was a trip of a lifetime, and I only had a few meltdowns and cried. I love how honest she is about that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because, I mean, think about that. Like, I know in my little neighborhood, less than a 16th of a mile from my house, I'm breaking down and crying because I'm having a hard time going around the circle, you know?
Yeah.
So she only had a couple of meltdowns. Needles Pass and the pigtail turns was where she learned about wide sweeping turns, and St. Joseph Pass was where it was so windy she was afraid she would be blown off the road. It was a very windy road. Things that she learned on the trip. I love this woman. I absolutely love this woman. Number one thing she learned on the trip. Men don't like to stop.
Men don't like
to stop.
Okay.
It's so true. I totally agree with that
I
one.
agree with that completely.
And in parentheses, she writes meltdown number 1. Stop! 6 months out. I can't even imagine. Number 2, pigtail turns. Meltdown number 2.
So pigtail turns means you're going, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're back down.
Yeah, they're wide sweeping turns, right?
Okay.
So they're the turns. My first wide sweeping turn, so they're wide, like big wide rotary, right? So you're wide and you're sweeping, right?
Oh, I know what
And
you
you
mean.
can you can kind of drift a little bit on
Yeah,
those.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? That's scary as all shit.
It is scary because I've done that.
I almost rode into my friend on my first wide sweeping turn. Now I don't do
Well,
that
if you
anymore.
wanted a piece of
You
me,
can
you should
ride-
have
I
just
know.
asked.
How you doing? But she was a
Hey,
pro
baby.
because she was just like, yeah, I saw her look down, see my little
Leg
peg
right
coming
there,
up,
yeah.
my peg coming up on her, and she lifted her foot up, and then she swept a little more over. So meltdown number 2. She learned she hates riding when it's really windy. Meltdown number 3. And she learned how to rig showers at campsites. She learned how to shower and wash her hair in 6 minutes or less. Back to 1. Men don't like to stop.
Yeah.
She also learned that she hates camping, and this is the best. She learned that she loves the wind in her hair, she loves Deadwood, and she loves Kevin Costner.
Thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
all that, Allison.
And would I do it again? Hell yeah. So talk about bucket lists. Like, hey, I'm gonna get my endorsement, and then I'm just gonna get the whole fucking bucket list off my list now. Let's just do it now.
Yeah.
Right?
If I was ever to
Allison.
come into a little bit of money, that's what we would do. We would do
Freaking
a
amazing,
cross-country
right?
ride. Yeah. That's
Love it.
phenomenal.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and actually, speaking of which, so now we have a Buy Me a Coffee link, right?
Yes.
And the main thing about our buy us a coffee, so it's
Right.
Buy Us a Coffee, and you can find it. We're gonna post it in our group, link to it. But if you go to yankeedaves.com and you go to the tab on the top, on that side, and it says it says creative. Oh no, it doesn't. It says Chicks That Ride. That's it. Chicks
That's
That
it.
Ride.
Right, that's what
Any
we are
chicks
now.
that ride, go there.
Right.
Because we're just too creative of them.
Right. Right.
And you follow down. There's 2 spots here. It says buy us a coffee. But what we do is that coffee, the money really does. I mean, it could buy us a coffee, but really the money's going to go towards maintaining our live stream.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Which could include taking cross country trips.
Right. It's going to
And-
definitely feed our
Yeah.
live feed, right?
Yeah, and then working on the Phoenix motorcycle project.